Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Poray, a family chiropractor in Brooklyn, Ontario. The subject of today's web blog is workman's compensation and chiropractic care. This used to be called WCB, or Workman's Compensation Board, or just Workman's Comp. It has for several years now been simply known as WSIB, or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board. Now, if you are injured at work, there are certain procedures that you must follow in order to qualify for WSIB care. The first thing to do is to go to the first aid station at work, if you've got them, and if not, then report the injury to your employer or supervisor so that they can fill out the appropriate incident reports. Without these reports, there's no record of your injury, and as a result, there can be no treatment. This also creates a paper trail in the event that legal actions are required in the future. Once the incident report is completed by your supervisor, you can choose the appropriate healthcare facility of your choice. You can choose a chiropractor or a physician. Either doctor is an appropriate portal of entry into the healthcare system. Now, you can also choose a physiotherapist or an extended class nurse without any referral either from a chiropractor or a physician. So, let's say that you've chosen to see a chiropractor. Can the chiropractor look after this particular injury? Well, there are two programs to choose from, and likely the chiropractic doctor will help you decide which is the correct one. The traditional approach is far more inclusive of the types of acute and chronic care available, including neck, upper back, lower back, and all the extremities. This requires a Form 8 to be filled in. The Form 8 includes an FAF, or Functional Abilities Form, which is the Functional Abilities Form is then referred to your employer and lets them know what kind of work, if any, you are able to do. The standard length of treatment is usually less than 12 weeks, but in some cases, these treatment programs can be extended. This approach requires approvals from WSIB. It can be turned down, and if it is, the worker becomes responsible for the treatment costs. If you don't have extended healthcare insurance, this may be expensive, so make sure that the injury is a legitimate one. The second choice is the POC, or Program of Care. The POC currently has the following options, which are appropriate for chiropractors to look after. First of all, there's the upper extremities, including lateral epicondylitis, or tennis elbow, and carpal tunnel syndrome. This has a limit of about 12 weeks of care. The shoulder injury includes bursitis, bruises, impingement syndromes, and several types of rotator cuff injuries. This has a limit of about 8 weeks. Then there's the acute lower back. The difference between the acute lower back and the chronic lower back is that the acute injury must have taken place less than 6 weeks prior to treatment beginning, and the program is also limited to about 8 weeks of care. The lower extremity includes ankle sprains and anterior knee injuries such as knee patellar tendonitis and so on, and it's also limited to about 6 weeks of treatment. Finally, mild traumatic brain injury or concussion. This program is limited to individuals who have not required hospitalization within the prior year for this injury, and it's also subject to approval by WSIB. Now, the difference between the Form 8 and the POC track is that POC is automatically approved, but it has a limited treatment time and criteria. That is, these cases must be uncomplicated and resolve quickly, while the Form 8 track is more inclusive and has a longer treatment regime, and it may be turned down. So our office accepts WSIB cases for either track, but not every chiropractic office does, so call first to make sure. When you're booking the appointment, make certain that you tell the receptionist that your visit will be a WSIB initial visit. This way, the office can be prepared with the appropriate time slot and the proper forms that we need to fill in for you. If you do this, the visit can proceed smoothly without delay, and if your case has already been accepted by a WSIB, you should have been given a case number. If you bring that with you, it will ensure that your injury has been registered and approved for treatment. If you don't have it, don't worry. You're still approved for at least 2 weeks of care until that number can be registered. Remember that access to WSIB programs is the right of every worker in Ontario. However, it's your responsibility not to abuse this program and not waste the time of our office or the finances of WSIB for that matter with questionable claims. Your first visit will include a careful exam and paperwork which will make certain that you qualify. The WSIB program should not be viewed as an opportunity to get time off of work or free chiropractic treatment. It has been put in place to ensure that workers get appropriate and timely care that will get them healthy and back to work in the shortest possible time. If you've got specific questions or more questions about WSIB programs and activities, go to their website at www.wsib.on.ca. I hope this has been helpful. I'm Dr. Mark Poray, and you'll find me at the Brooklyn Family Health Center in North Whitby. Our phone number is 905-655-5767. Don't forget to mention whether or not this will be a WSIB claim. If you would like to hear other web blogs or check out our office, you can see my website at www.drporay.com. Thanks very much for your time.